Hi, I'm Carcina.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Why am I sitting in the cut like this? This is not looking good. This is not looking good. What we have is the full federal indictment information on this case. What's up, John Rod? I see you. Man, John, don't forget, sign up to the memberships. We got memberships here now. I don't want you to miss out because when we get enough people in there, we're doing giveaways. Yeah, so for the holidays and stuff, you want to make sure you sign up and become a member. So, yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy day. So, in case you haven't heard, Chauncey Billips, Terry Rosier, Damon Jones were arrested. And, well, everybody online has been going crazy saying that Gilbert Arenas has snitched. And that's the reason why. But legally, he's not here in the paperwork. But the internet has been having fun, including Gilbert Arenas himself, who did the funniest thing I've ever seen this morning from him. After the news was breaking and everybody was saying that he had snitched, he decides to double down and post his informant lunch. Before he went on his show. Yeah, that dude's crazy. That dude. Now, he was federally indicted about a couple months ago for alleged involvement in a illegal gambling casino. 3 counts that faces up to 5 years for each count. And he still can sit here and post stuff like this. And he actually went and ate the lunch live on the show. That's funny. What was even funnier was somebody did the AI picture of him. Oh my goodness. Now that we got the silliness out of the way, let's get to the actual let's get to the actual facts of the case. I've heard people blame Michael Jordan for this. LeBron James fans are trying to blame Michael Jordan for this, and he might be a little nervous right now. So let's get to those details. Because we got the file. Now, if you want the whole file, we're going to put it on the Patreon. So the Patreon, All my Patreons can have it. The timing is crazy. Right after the NBA premieres, like the first full 2 days of the NBA, kicking off, this happens. So we're not making it up. We're going from the case files. I want to make sure I showed y'all that so y'all would know what time it is. Now, they did a sweep and they arrested Ernest Aleo, Nelson Alvarez, known as Spanish G, Luis Apicila, known as Lou AP, Amar Adoa, known as Flapper Poker, aka Flappy, Saul Belcher, Chauncey Billips, Matthew Dadino, known as Matty or the Wrestler, Eric Ernest is Spook, Lee Family, Joe Gallo, Marco Garzona, Thomas Gallardo, known as Juice, Jamie Gillette, Tony Godson, Black Tony is his nickname, Kenny Hahn, Shane Henney, and also known as Sugar. What's they say? Osman Hadi, known as the Albanian Bruce or Big Bruce. Horito Hugh, known as H. Jonathan Chan, name as Zin Hu. His name is Jonathan Chan or Screwley or Stanley. I don't know how those nicknames stick. Damon Jones, also known as D. Jones. Joseph Lanny, John Mazzulla, known as John Soft. Curtis Meeks, known as Kurt. Nicholas Mansuti, Michael Rizzulli, Angelo Rogillo Jr., Anthony Siderman, known as Doc, Robert Stroud, known as Black Rob, Seth Trushman, Sophia Wee, known as Pookie, and Julius Zeleny, known as Jay. Now, this started in 2019. They were part of the co-conspirators to engage in complex fraud scheme to rig and cheat illegal poker games in the Eastern District of New York throughout rigged poker games and the schemes. Now, all of these illegal situations that they have here include weekly poker games at locations on Washington Place or the Lexington, what they call the Lexington Avenue in Manhattan, New York. Now, the Washington Place game and the Lexington Avenue game were on record when it was operated and express permission and approved of by members of the Associate and certain crime organizations of the La Cosa Nostra, who provided support and protection for the games and collected and owed debts from the games in exchange for a portion of the illegal gambling proceeds. Victims of the rigger poker scheme. See, they believe that these games were rigged completely and they were straight illegal poker games that were gambling against each other, participants on equal footing. In reality, the defendants and their co-conspirators who constituted the remaining participants purposely played in the poker games, worked together on cheating teams that used advanced wireless technology to read the cards dealt into each poker hand and relay that information to the defendants or co-conspirators participating in the illegal poker games. The defendants and their co-conspirators then bet accordingly to ensure the unsuspecting victims lost money. Through the rigged poker scheme, the defendants and their co-conspirators defrauded victims of millions of dollars. Now, by bringing this up, they're saying Chauncey Billips and all these people aligned contributed to this casino or this betting. And this is just one part of it. Okay, this is talking about this breakdown with this gambling scheme, with this gambling family. That while playing, while playing cards, they're actually like they're all individuals, they're all working together, certain people. And they're all relaying information back to each other to help them cheat, those who are involved at the table. And the victim is the one person or two people that they trying to bust at the table. So at the end of the day, no matter who wins the money, they all gonna split the pot. The only people that's gonna win there are them, the house. It's like sitting down a cooler at the blackjack table. Yeah, that's how crazy it got. He said that's all casinos though. Yeah, well, this ain't a casino. Now, when they keep considering all the people who were part of the cheating team, they had this go all the way to Missouri. And they said Chauncey Billips, who's a resident of Oregon and is a member of one of the cheating teams. They kind of break them down where they also go, and this guy named Jonathan Chan or Jonathan Hugh Screwley, he was a Brooklyn resident and he was an organizer of the Lexington games, along with others rigging the games at the Lexington Avenue games, among other places. So these Korean guys was in it also. And Damon Jones was a member of one of the cheating teams, even though he's out of Texas right now. Yeah, then they had some members of the Gambino crime family attached to this. So they was controlling the ports and was involved. So once crime figures were involved in this, that's when it went to a whole nother level. And Black Rob was from Kentucky, and he rigged the games, providing technology for other players in the scheme of the rigged games to get involved in exchange for a portion of the proceeds. And he was also a member of the cheating teams. Damn, dude was from Kentucky. So the Lucchese crime family of the La Costa Nostra, Seth Trussman, and he was one of the organizers also and part of the members of the cheating team of the Lexington Avenue games with a host of others. And the Bonanno crime family, Julius Zelani, known as Jay, he was part also. Well, throughout the night, they claimed they organized, rigged these games, what they called the Square Illegal Poker Games in New York, where Tony, along with other people, would also get involved in the scheme using cheating technology. To attract the victims, they would use rigged poker schemes as face cards, and the face cards were members of the cheating team, and they received a portion of the criminal proceeds in exchange for participation in the scheme. Chauncey Billips and Damon Jones, both whom are former professional basketball players, were face cards and members of the cheating team. See, they're using these guys to give the game legitimacy. When you see Damon Jones, oh, he played in NBA. That's Damon Jones. Oh, that's Chauncey Billips. He played with the Pistons. Even though he's a coach now, people can relate and they'll feel safe about the games because they see these guys here again. So that brings a false sense of security that everything will go well. No, at the rigged games, the members of the cheating team, including the defendants and their co-conspirators, right, used card shuffling machines that was purposely randomly shuffling the players' cards to ensure fairness, right? Then that's when they brought in rigged shuffling machines. This comes out like a Ocean's 13 or Ocean's 11. However, these rigged stuffing machines were secretly altered to use concealed technology to read the cards in the deck, predict which players at the tables had the best poker hands, and relay that information via wires to an off-site operator. The operator would then communicate that information by cell phone to a member of the cheating team seated at the card game poker tables, known as the quarterback or the driver, who use secret signaling to share the information with the other members of the cheating team playing at these rigged tables. The cheating teams used that information from the quarterback to defraud the victims, who believed they were playing a straight up illegal poker game. At times, the defendants utilized other cheating technologies, such as electric poker chip trays that could secretly read cards placed on the poker table, card analyzers that utilize technology, loading a decoy cell phone that could basically detect if the cards were on the table, and playing cards that had markers visibly only to those people wearing designed contact lenses or sunglasses. With respect to poker's games held in New York City area members and associated with the Bonanno, Gambino, and the Genovese crime families, they use threats, intimidations to assure your payments and debts from the rigged games were met. They wanted to protect the games from competition and other potential threats. In exchange, these members of these families, their portions from their proceeds of the rigged games and the Square illegal poker games, the defendants, Ernest Aleo, Thomas Gerlalo, and Julius Zolini, received their proceeds from their behalf of their family, and the Gallo family came through with the Gambino crime family. They got their pieces, as well as the Genovese, in addition to receiving those rigged games and Square illegal poker games. Certain members who was associated to the Gambino crime family on cheating teams and all of this, where the nature was to extend the rigged poker games as well as the proceeds of the illegal poker game. So they used all of this technology to deceive everyone that was listening and watching. They used a lot of technology to deceive you. I'm not saying that. The federal government is saying that. Remember, this is a this is a foul right here, buddy. It is really going down. This is the actual suit. So I ain't saying a word. They saying a word. He said, "Oh wow, cheating. That is crazy work." He's like, Chauncey Billips is gonna snitch too. Chauncey from Detroit. He played on the Pistons. Ain't no way. Oh, there's gonna be a movie about this. Well, Gilbert Arenas was arrested a few months ago in a separate incident, but yeah, involving some organized crime members. He was called. The federal government accused him of participating in an illegal gambling situation, and allegedly they're saying that he was renting his home for an illegal casino and was taking a rake from the casino. From this illegal casino, along with two other charges, which is up to 5 years for each count. He's declared his innocence. He's posted his bond, and so far the information is not connected to him in any way. Yeah, I'm reading the information. We still got a ways to go. But as of right now, what I've read to you, he's not connected in anything so far. Oh, that don't matter to the internet, though. The internet says he's guilty. So he's been having fun with it all goddamn day long. He said, I didn't know the Italian mob was still around. Yeah, you don't want to find out. So anyway, back to the technology they was using. You've seen a lot of this in movies where they have the different contact lenses on that can read the cards on the table. They have sunglasses or prescription glasses. They have some that look like prescription glasses, and they can read all of the cards that's on the table. Yeah, they would all have to collect a fee for the illegal poker games, and they would send wire transfers whichever way they could. One of the victims, right, in 2019 at one of these rigged games in Las Vegas, they said they defrauded a man out of at least $50,000. And Chauncey Billips, who was there, they tried to say they organized this game through a rigged shuffling machine brought by Mr. Schreiber. And they said in July and June of 2023, they participated in the rigged games at the Lexington Avenue game in which John Doe won, who was identified, and he is only known by the grand jury. He lost $1.8 million. So going through this proceeding and what's going on with these games, that they used they received portions of the criminal proceeds that was involved in the game that was involving John Doe 1 on behalf of Bonanno, Gambino, and the Genovese crime families. The defendant, Anthony Sherman, and his co-conspirators, they had laundered at least $100,000 of the criminal proceeds of the game. In another example, about June 2023, they had several other defendants from the East Hampton games. They came in to defraud John Doe 2 and 3, respectfully, to the grand jury. In September of 2024, this man in Miami, Florida, they called John Doe 4. His identity is only known to the grand jury, and they said that he lost $60,000 to the same scheme. And they claimed they used a rigged shuffling machine to take money from him as well. And the poker scheme cost the losses of all the victims at least about $7.1 million. Well, on several occasions, the defendants and their co-conspirators used threats, force of violence to secure repayment of these debts from these illegal poker games. And amongst instances, about November 2022 and February 2023, they used a lot of different tactics to make sure that this reality took place or came to fruition. Now, in addition to everything that was going on, several of the defendants conspired to steal a rigged shuffling machine from John Doe number 7, an individual whose identity is only known through the grand jury. He had previously supplied rigged shuffling machines for them, specifically on or about September 7th of 2023. They came to gunpoint to John Doe number 7 to steal a specific model of the rigged shuffling machine. John Doe number 7 wanted to use he wanted to use it in illegal poker games that he had going on. So the wire fraud conspiracy. This is what ties in Chauncey Billips and almost everybody, Damon Jones. They're all attached to this wire fraud situation. Now, about April the 19th, 2019, both dates were approximately and inclusive with the Eastern District of New York coming in, making their claims as to what was going on. So, well, Spanish G and the rest of those guys were not in this lawsuit. So Flapper, better known as Flappy, was allegedly involved in this situation that was handling the wire frauds with Chauncey Billips, known as Maddie, and then the wrestler. Then they boy Spook came through with Black Tony, and they got Jonathan Chan in there, the Korean. Screwley came through, and Damon Jones, known as D. Jones, and John South, and Kurt, they came through with Pookie. and together with others, they did knowingly and intentionally conspire to devise a scheme, rather, to artificially defraud the victims. John 1, John Doe 2, 3, 4, and obtain money and property from the victims by means one way or another. False, fraudulent pretense, representations, and promises for the purpose of executing a scheme of artificial simulations to cause and transmitted by at least wire fraud, communications, and foreign commerce, sign signaling, pictures, sounds, everything. Now, operating an illegal gambling business is count number 2, and that was in the Washington place. And they said, we got all the information through 46 different aligned incorporations all together between January 2021 to October of 2023, both dates being approximately inclusive with the Eastern District of New York. Man, I wonder if they're going to come get me from high school when I was spending quarters. Because in high school, we were spending quarters, dog. In high school, we were spending quarters. You know how you spend quarters and slap down the quarter? We would spend quarters, slap the quarter down, and we kind of had it like anybody else at the table, you know. So we could have like 5 people, whatever, but the person with the quarter, that's the different one, win. So me and my buddy playing, we normally play with 3 people. And whoever comes into this game, they're the sucker. Right? And we would spin the corner. I said, look, I'll always get heads. You always get tails. So the other guy can't win. All he could do is lose. So we used to do this at lunch. But I'm like, if we keep doing this, they'll know this is a setup. Right? So we, of course, like we'll signal each other to let us know that we just going to play fair. You know, so that way he got a chance of winning. And the person don't know it's rigged. And at the end of the day, feds are knocking on my door during the stream. I was in high school, man. Those were quarters. Oh, man, that's a federal government crime. Man, I'm going to talk to Kawhi. Kawhi don't use phones, baby. I don't use phones. Kawhi don't talk. So, yeah, so they said all of these dudes got together to conduct finance, managing, supplying all the direct or all a part of a legal gambling business involving poker games around the Washington place in New York, which operated in violation of the laws of the New York State and the New York State Penal Code, with 5 or more persons conducting, finance, managed, and supervising this business organization. This operation for 1 or more periods is excessive of 30 days and had a gross value of at least 2,001 or more single days. Count 3, operating an illegal gambling business at the Lexington Avenue game. Pretty much the same time period, except for this was in January of 2022 to October of 2023. And the same people are almost in charge, except for Black Tony and Big Bruce, known as Albanian Bruce. And Jonathan Chan Screwley came through again with the same thing, to intent to conduct, finance, manage, and all be a part of this illegal gambling business. And because of this, just like it was at the Lexington place, which operated in the visitation of New York. And New York penal codes in violation involved 5 or more persons who conducted and financed and supervises and directed and owned all of part of such businesses which remained in continuous operation for at least one or more periods in excess of 30 days with the gross of more than 2001 or more single days. The money laundering conspiracy. The allegations contained in paragraph 1 through 46 are alleged and incorporated as in fully set forth in this paragraph that on April 2019, as of present, both dates being approximately and inclusive with the Eastern District of New York and elsewhere, the defendants Nelson Alvarez, also known as Spanish G, Louis AP, also known as Flappy, Sal, Chauncey Billips, Matthew Dadino, known as Maddie, or Eric Ernest, Spoo, John Gallo, Marco Garcon, Juice, and a dude named Sugar came through. And they, with Damon Jones, D. Jones, Kurt, and Doc, with Black Rob and Pookie, together with these people, knowingly and intentionally conspired to conduct one or more financial transactions. It affected interstate and foreign commerce transactions using financial institutions that is engaged in and the activities of which affect interstate and foreign commerce, which transactions involve the proceeds of one or more specific unlawful activities to wit wire fraud violations, illegal gambling businesses, and the Title 18 Code, Title 18 of the United States Code. They wanted to engage in criminal activities with value greater than $10,000 or more derived from one specific unlawful activity. Wire fraud and the violation of Title 18, the Penal Code of Section 1343, the operation of illegal gambling businesses is in violation of the U.S. Code. Now, count 5 is the Hobbs Act, extortion conspiracy. This allegation contains 46 are realigned and incorporated and fully set in the paragraph. So about November of 2022 and February of 2023, both dates are being approximately exclusive with the Eastern District of New York and elsewhere. Thomas Galero, known as Juice, Jonathan Chan, Screwley, and Stanley, they intentionally conspired to obstruct, delay, and affect commerce by the movement of article commodities and using extortion, obtaining property, the U.S. currency from John Doe number 5, and with his consent, which consent was induced by wrongful use of actual threatened force, violence, and fear. Count number 6 of the Hobbs Act. The allegations contained in the paragraphs, once again, for John Doe number 7. On September 7th of 2023, a man known as Flapper, they called Flappy, and Albanian Bruce, Big Bruce, and John South with Black Rob, together with some others, they knowingly and intentionally conspired to obstruct, delay, and affect commerce with the movement of the articles in the commodities in commerce by robbery, with the robbery of a rigged shuffling machine from John Doe number 7. The allegations of count number 7, the Hobbs Act, extortion for John Doe number 6, September 2023 to October of 2023. Both dates show that Jonathan Chan, Screwley, together with Seth Trussman, together did unknowingly acts to conspire to destruct everything with the commodity to extort property obtained by John Doe number 6, which consent was induced by wrongful use of actual threatened force, violence, and fear. So the criminal forgery allegation, that's the count one. This count is brought forth by the government that said these proceeds that is obtained directly through, if any of the above prescribed forfeitable property as a result of an act of omission by the defendants can be located by exercising due diligence, transferred, sold by third party, placed beyond jurisdiction of the court, substantially diminished in value, or has been basically committed by property which cannot be divided without difficulty. Criminal forgery allegation as it counts to counts 2 and 3. Yes, same thing. Cannot mingle with people's properties illegally, which can't be divided without difficulty. So Title 21 U.S. Code seeks forfeiture of any property they got with the value of this, meaning that anything you got criminally, you cannot hold on to. The feds are coming to take it all. If you did anything illegally, they're coming to take it all. Now, all this criminal forgery is what's holding everything up. Now, we will have the full indictment and the whole breakdown so you can read it word for word yourself if you would like on the Patreon. It's going to be for all the Patreon. Are they bank accounts frozen? And I don't know if they're frozen because it's only about the stolen goods. So when they said we're seizing anything that you gain. If they say you got this amount of money, the feds could probably come in and seize all accounts, like whatever you get transferred or from your NBA salary or whatever. They probably can't stop that. FanDuel owe us a lot of money. Well, the thing is, if they have this technology out, how do we know certain casinos don't have this as well? I believe all casinos have this. I remember I stopped playing dice at the casino once I threw the dice and they stopped rolling in the middle of my throw. I threw the dice and how the dice supposed to continually spin. I said that those dice did not obey the laws of physics. I threw the dice and it hit the wall. It comes back and it just locks in and then slides and stopped. I said, oh, hell no. And it was right on 7. And I crapped out. It was, I'm sorry. That's how it goes. I'm like, all right, screw that. I'm not playing this ever again. Thank you. I'm done. That was enough right there. Casino dice could. Good old Mother Goose. Remember her? Yeah. Hey, where you from? Numb nuts. Where you from? New York? I'm from my dad's penis. Oh! What's your name? Neil and Bob? Or is that like what you do? No, we grew up on Dice. Dice was who we grew up watching. I would have got in trouble watching Dice special. Mom rented it because she was like, back then they would have all this like comedy specials and stuff. So she would just bring home these movies. They had the rentals. So I would go over, get the movies or whatever, and go ahead and fully like rent it out. Go ahead, knock that thing right out of position. And just pop that VHS tape in, press play. I had all the comedy shows, everything. Dice was the only comedian to sell out Madison Square Garden back-to-back nights. Until Dane Cook did it. Dane Cook just recently did that when he was at his peak point. Like Dane Cook was everywhere. Carlin was the smart comedian. So if you got what Carlin was saying, then you got comedy. At least you understood it. Well, Gilbert Arenas has been having fun this morning. So he's been sitting here saying that he's having his snitch lunch, his informant lunch, for snitching on everybody. Yeah, so he's been enjoying this because it's content for him. Yeah, he's enjoying the living hell out of this. He finna milk this. That's what I'm saying. If you know him, he finna milk this damn thing to the end. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the shock of the day. Dave McMenamin, right? Dave McMenamin, who's been known. Here's the connection to LeBron James is involved now. Former 11-year NBA player Damon Jones, whose best friend is LeBron James, was arrested Thursday on charges that he allegedly disclosed privileged injury information about a prominent basketball player to facilitate illegal sports betting. LeBron James was the prominent player, a source close to James told ESPN. James was not accused of any wrongdoing in the incident. Jones was one of 34 people arrested, with Chauncey Billips, Miami Heat's guard Terry Rosier, as part of a years-long investigation, nearly a dozen states involved in tens of millions of dollars. FBI Director Kash Patel said. 2 separate cases, one on illegal sports betting and another one in rigged poker games, including the mafia. We just did that one that you just heard there with the illegal thing there. Jones was unofficially unpaid part of the former Los Angeles Lakers coach Darvin Ham's staff and is no longer with the team under current Lakers coach J.J. Redick. Ham invited Jones to be part of his team activities after James spent the summer of 2022 with Jones present many of his offseason workouts. Darvin Ham did not want Damon Jones on the team. LeBron James brought him in as an unpaid coach to be on the team. That's LeBron James's homeboy. But they made it look like Darvin Ham invited him. Dave McMenamin is writing this from Clutch Sports. Now, James was unaware that Jones, his former teammate and assistant coach with the Cleveland Cavaliers, was involved in gambling activity when Jones spent time with the Lakers in 2022 and 2023. The federal indictment alleges that before the Lakers games against the Milwaukee Bucks on February 9th of 2023, Jones texted a co-conspirator to get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight because James was going to be out. And this was before the injury report was released. James, who passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time leading scorer team on the previous game of February 7th of 2023, will go on to miss 3 straight games because of soreness in his left ankle. So Jones' alleged text was via saying, bet enough so D. Jones can eat too. Now, without James, Milwaukee beat the Lakers 115 to 106. Additionally, the indictment alleges the following season, Jones provided non-public information to a co-conspirator in connection to Lakers games versus OKC Thunder on January 15th of 2024. The Lakers had no comment on the allegations of Jones when reached by ESPN on Thursday morning. Now, that's crazy how they trying to throw Darvin Ham in there. You see that? Like Darvin Ham brought LeBron James' best friend to the team once he got hired as the coach. He wanted him to join the team. Really? Really? So LeBron James' buddy agency that he signed to, Clutch Sports, Dave McMenamin knew he had to write about this, so he has to get ahead of it and then put a spin on it to try to make LeBron James look innocent. There are more Lakers than LeBron James involved in this, including Anthony Davis. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. AD is also involved in this. Yeah. See, it's a whole lot of stuff coming up. You see, Damon Jones provided non-public injury information about the status of 2 players in the NBA that was listed in the Thursday indictments. From wide-range gambling scandals announced by the FBI, those players have been LeBron James and Anthony Davis, based on public injury information reviewed by the dates of those games. An indictment that led to the arrest of Jones and the current Miami Heat guard Terry Rosier. So December 2022 and 2024, they were a part of a scheme to defraud betting companies by providing using non-public information related to NBA games. Jones is accused of selling non-public information for the purpose of placing illegal bets for at least 2 Los Angeles Lakers games in 2022 to 2023 and 2023 to 2024 in NBA seasons. Well, the thing was, NBA choosing to bring gambling into the league was bound, something bad was bound to happen in all sports. The temptations of gambling and people who have gambling addictions, that's not exclusive to the players are not excluded to that. When there's been gambling for years. Can you imagine if they had this sports betting, gambling legal when Michael Jordan was playing? Jordan would have been accused every night. They'd be like, Mike, you cannot have card games. Bullshit. You know, Michael Jordan used to turn restaurants into casinos. Are you kidding me? They'd be gambling in the back of the steakhouse in Jersey, here in Chicago, everywhere. He used his restaurant as a gambling facility. And they told him, you can't do that. The people that really own that restaurant, they just was written his name. Well, the Justice Department charges states that Damon Jones used his relationship and access with the Lakers and their top players to help orchestrate the operation. And on February 9th of 2023, you know, that Bucks game where after he passed Kareem, LeBron wasn't going to be playing, Jones sent a text saying that player 3 would not be playing. That's who LeBron James is known as, player 3. But at that time, player 3 had not been ruled out of the game. James did not play on February 9th due to ankle soreness, and the Lakers lost the game. Player 3 is prominently identified as just a prominent NBA player who Jones had been a teammate with and coached. Jones played with LeBron James with the Cleveland Cavaliers over 3 years and served as an unofficial Lakers coach in 2022 to 2023, according to the indictment. Then the Lakers versus OKC Thunder, like we talked about on January 15th, according to the indictment, they've learned that player number 4 on that list is one of the Lakers' best players during that year and was injured and going to play limited minutes. Player 4 has been designated as a probable on the team's injury report at that time. Jones allegedly shared the information for gambling purposes and received a $2,500 payment through his peer-to-peer mobile payment. Marvis Farley placed a $100,000 bet on the Lakers to lose that game. However, player 4 wound up playing and the Lakers won. Davis was the only Laker player listed as probable before that game, and he finished with 27 points and 15 rebounds. Terry Rosier is implicated in the indictment for manipulating his performance in March 23rd of 2023 between the Charlotte Hornets and the New Orleans Pelicans. Rosier, then a member of the Hornets, is accused of telling another co-defendant that he was going to prematurely remove himself from the game. Rosier wound up playing less than 10 minutes before leaving with an injury. The Justice Department alleged that on that Thursday that more than $200,000 bet was on Rozier's name in the game. $200,000 was bet on Rosier in the under in that game. Most of the most brazen sports corruption schemes since online betting became widely legalized. The FBI secured multiple indictments for more than 30 people related to the role in the explosive gambling scandal that rocked the NBA. Jones is also implicated in an illegal poker scheme tied to the mafia that led to the arrest of Chauncey Billips on Thursday. The NBA placed Billups and Rosier on immediate leave after they were indicted. Charges stemming from wide-range investigation, including wire fraud, conspiracy, illegal gambling, money laundering, robbery, and extortion. So, yes, Chauncey Billups is on immediate leave with Terry Rosier. They will not be on the court. Damon Jones can't be anywhere near NBA right now. They need to be an investigation, and there's probably going to be one into Clutch Sports. We don't know. We don't know, Joe. So what we have to do Clutch Sports is shaky right now. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm saying lock LeBron up tonight. Lock LeBron James up tonight. He was leaking information that he knows he's not supposed to leak out to the public to Damon Jones, so Damon Jones can go bet. We know who that player is. Lock him up. Player number 4 or 3, lock his ass up tonight. Seeing LeBron go out in Cubs, baby. Accept no substitute, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I'm finna play some bets right now. I'm motivated. Lock him up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they texting me right now about everybody in the phone, man. It's just crazy. Now, is LeBron scared right now? He should be. Oh, he should be, because this ain't going good for him. So if he is not afraid, he should be. Go ahead and lock it up. That's because most people don't see it that way. The way you see it and you're looking at it through pure eyes. LeBron James has put himself in a legal situation that he should be facing a fine or suspension. I think the NBA knows this because let me tell you what's been going on here. The NBA saying they just found out all this information today. I find that very hard to believe, knowing that the federal government is connected to the NBA. These indictments were filed on October the 9th at 4:11 p.m. October the 9th. Here it is, the 23rd. And you mean to tell me you didn't know this was coming? That's probably why LeBron James is sitting down right now. LeBron's probably sitting out because he probably suspended his ass and said, you ain't touching the court until this indictment thing go down. Because we ain't going to have to snatch you up off this court. So we just going to say you're injured. You leaking injury information to your buddy who's caught in a legal gambling scheme? Saying LeBron had no idea he was using that information to place bets. I don't know. That's going to be a little difficult. When, Gilbert Arenas said they were gambling in his house in 2005. Damon Jones owed him money. And they gambled back in 2005 at LeBron's house. So we don't know. Things are looking real crazy around here. Did you know Bron would do something like that? Of course, it's LeBron James. He probably told his boy he's not playing before it came out and leaked out to the public. Yep, I took the Indiana Pacers tonight against OKC. Yeah, +7. So you know I ain't crazy. I took Denver +2 against the Warriors. The Joker is going to get about 12 assists. I don't see a lot of things going in the direction for a lot of these players. Oh, of course not. I'm hoping the Joker puts up. I'm looking at him to get a 30-point triple-double tonight. The magnet ball is over after this scandal? I don't think so. I don't think so. But job ain't done. What's there to be excited for? Job ain't done. My picks. No, I can get you. I'll get you a couple. Denver over Golden State. Milwaukee over Toronto. Orlando over Atlanta. Well, when people have a certain direction, like they put it in their head, like a map, what is good and what isn't, then you have everybody making their own decisions and they trying to go off script. Well, Terry Rozier's lawyer made a statement on the whole situation and spoke. So he's the Miami Heat lawyer. The Miami Heat superstars lawyer, Terry Rosier. And he's saying his client is going to fight these allegations that he was involved in a wide range gambling ring that has resulted in more than 30 people getting arrested. Jim Trusty. That's funny. Your lawyer name is Jim Trusty? If you can't trust Trusty, who can you get? I'm Trusty the Clown. It's Trusty. Hey, kids. Let me get you out of trouble. And remember, if you can't trust Trusty, who can you trust? Oh, my God. Did you get this lawyer from a damn bumper sticker? I would never get a lawyer named Trusty. Mr. Trusty, yeah. I don't even think that's a real last name. I was like, where everybody in the Trusty line, family line? Oh, man, he went to Temu and got this lawyer. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's crazy. Well, anyway, old Trusty, he said the investigators previously told Terry Rozier he was a subject, not a target of a gambling probe. However, following Terry Rozier's arrest on Thursday of October the 23rd, Trusty said FBI officials appear to be taking the word of speculatory and incredible sources rather than relying on actual evidence of wrongdoing. Trustee noted that the NBA conducted its own preliminary investigation last year after the allegations first surfaced. Terry was cleared by the NBA, and these prosecutors revived that non-case. Trustee took particular issue with the way Rosier was taken into custody Thursday morning at the Heat's team hotel in Orlando, Florida. This is unfortunate that instead of allowing him to self-surrender, they opted for a photo op. They wanted to misplace glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivations in this case. Go ahead, Trustee. At the center of attention in Rosier's case is a March 2023 game between the Charlotte Hornets and New Orleans Pelicans. Sports books in several states flagged unusual betting activity on Rosier's statistics, triggering a halt on his prop bets. Rosier, who averaged 35.3 minutes and 21.1 points per game that season, left the game after playing just 10 minutes due to a foot injury. Justice Department alleged on Thursday that more than $200,000 was bet on Rosier under in that game. Terry is not a gambler, but he's not afraid of a fight, and he looks forward to winning this fight. Go ahead, Terry. Hey, I'm telling you, first off, I think Terry Rosier is innocent. Let me tell you that right now. Terry Rosier is innocent, in my opinion. Do you want to know why the NBA took that decision to clear his name and why they know he didn't do what they saying he did? Because they did the investigation and they can't find one person Terry Rosier told anything to. They can't find it. There's no smoking gun except for somebody knew Terry Rosier must not have been healthy. That information could have came from a trainer. That information could have came from anybody. He twisted his ankle in the game. So who is that on? That's what I want to know. Who is that on? Of course they scamming our bets the whole time. You know what they did to me yesterday? I need one basket from Lonzo Ball. One basket from Lonzo Ball. Right? And I win. Franz Wagner decides out of the blue to hit a three to blow the game and blow my money. You want to know what happens? So by half a point, I lose. By one game, I lose. The other joker that plays for the Miami Heat needed one basket. He was at 8 at the half. And never scored again. Coaches bench players based on betting odds. It's a lot of money going for you in this direction. We're going to sit you down. But if they keep this investigations going on, they're going to have to investigate what's going on with the rims and the actual basketball. Who's controlling the ball going through the net? Now, if they really want to investigate, they need to investigate if there's illegal electronic devices in the basketball. That's what they need to investigate. Yeah, last night, Cino lost goddamn a fortune. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Pick the over for Justin Herbert in yards as a quarterback. I'm an under picker. Yeah, I picked the under a lot. Did Gilbert Arenas tell? I don't know. I don't even think he gotten to that point yet. But hey, when I tell you this dude is the biggest troll in the game, he's the biggest troll in the game. This dude comes out with his informant lunch. I never saw it the way everybody else did. To be exact, that's just how I felt going into it. No, Lamar Jackson's supposed to come back on Sunday. I think it'll be the week of the underdog. I think the New York Giants is going to come out big. The 49ers will come out big. Mm-hmm. Yeah, got to go for the underdog. Oh, no, there's going to be a lot going on when the rubber meets the road. Oh, God, family, USA, what are you doing? He said, ain't this the bomb that said Jordan was lying about the free throw? Oh, you must have missed it, buddy. I said Jordan was lying about the last time he touched a basketball. He said it was years ago. See, you don't understand what you even interpreting. I didn't believe he actually filmed it. I didn't believe it at all because I don't believe nothing he says because Michael Jordan is a liar. Brandon Miller told you in that video in 2023. That video they sent is from 4 years ago at the Ryder Cup, right? So the 2 years is closer than 4 years, ain't it? But he ain't mentioning what happened with Brandon Miller when he was airballing free throws. So he lied. So we are accurate, like Acura. Jordan was lying. He gonna tell the story that make him look good. It worked for NBC and it worked for Jordan fans because that's what he does. He knows how to play you guys. Now you tell me, if somebody said, when the last time you touched the basketball, you go back 4 years when you was just playing 2 years ago. Something's in the water. Something's in the water. But thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. You know, most of my brothers here should be super chatting. But let me go ahead and update the Patreon. We got a lot to say. So I'll make sure that y'all get this whole full indictment over there on the Patreon for all the tiers. And I'm out. Deuces. Shouts out to, I see my new members. Everybody sign up and join and become a member here. I see Jose Rodriguez get involved. I see you. Shouts out to all my members. And I'm out.